What's good, folks? Back with another episode. Put the Phone Down podcast. Open conversation for open people, authentic. Whatever happens is whatever happens. You know what I mean? You guys get to enjoy it. But we have no script. I am your host, Charles Wallace, workbywallce, Wallace shot photographer, mixed media illustrator, all that good jazz. This is episode 3, and I hope you guys will enjoy this one. I hope you guys are enjoying the last one. If you haven't, go check those out. We have a special guest here today. This is Famo. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Wolf. Chilling here with my cousin. Gonna be getting into some topics, hopefully some hot topics that's gonna get your gears turning. Some of this controversial, people love controversy, you know what I'm saying? That's what really made people tune in. And just really talking about today's world, some of our experiences together, some of our experiences apart. And hopefully you'll enjoy what you hear, hopefully enjoy what you see. So I'm ready to get into it.
Let's get into it. So first of all, I think I've been, starting to realize I can do is, fuck, I don't have my sign. That's gonna stay in. Fuck y'all. Anyway, so an idea I had, the way to start the podcast off now, even though organically it just starts, but what is something that makes or helps you put the phone down?
Really just being in touch with real life. I think, so I'm an 80s baby. So it's the different generation, a different vibe. We didn't grow up with all those electronics. We didn't grow up with all those distractions. Man, I was talking to, some of my friends the other day who were in the same age bracket. We were like, it's crazy because now you don't really see kids outside playing. Everybody's so consumed by social media or video games or what have you. In my generation, if you had to stay inside, you were missing something. It was like a punishment.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. That is true. If you was inside, it was not. It wasn't the move.
It was like, you'll do anything.
Like
What my ass takes
so I can go outside. Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes. Just don't make me miss a day, because you knew when you got back to school the next day, it was always going to be a story.
It was an episode. Yeah.
It was always going to be a story. Something happened at the park. Something happened somewhere.
Yeah.
So I carried that on into my adulthood. Even with tapping into social media and video games, I still don't have a problem from detaching away from it. Right. Some people are literally addicted to it.
Yeah.
I'll literally delete it off my phone if I feel like, if I'm staring at my phone a little bit too much, if it's the first thing I grab when I wake up in the morning, it's time for that shit to go. And it's a false sense of reality, man. There's no mystery to anything anymore. I remember,
we know too much.
Yeah, we know way too much.
It's not that we know too much. We know too much of nothing. That's what it is. The stuff we should know about, but we know too much of absolutely nothing.
And not everybody's an expert, because it's so easy to just pick up your phone, Google something, hop on TikTok, hop on Instagram, and now everybody's a fucking expert.
About your life too.
Yeah, and it's and now it's not only that, false expectations of how life should be and how people should interact and how your relationship should be has gone through the roof. These false expectations are through the roof. Now everybody has this notion they're a celebrity. Oh, I got 100,000+ people that follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, and now all of a sudden everybody's a celebrity. Everybody wants celebrity treatment, and everybody starts wanting celebrity interactions. That type of mentality is such a detachment from the way the world really works. Yeah. Because outside of these platforms, nobody really give a fuck about you. Status, I do believe in social status, right? It is a thing. I do believe in social credit, that is a thing. Depending on what type of circles that you in, you're gonna be able to get into certain places and have certain circumstances. But those type of people, they usually have to put in a lot of work. You usually have to put in a lot of work to be able to just walk into a place and be good. Yeah. Or people to see your face and be like, oh, that person's good.
Right, yeah.
It takes a lot more. Not saying that there's not a lot of work that goes into this, because, even with this platform, I would expect that you get enough followers and you get enough subscribers that essentially the outcome of that is that, hey, I'm gonna want some type of social status. But there's also a thing in abusing that status, and I think people get it. They want it so bad so they can abuse it. Mm-hmm. I work in the service industry, and I can't tell you how many times I get hit with I'm an influencer.
I was at
what the fuck is
that?
I was
at a wing event. Everyone was waiting on their food. It was like a soft opening of hey, come try. I'm trying this new business. I'm trying and come and get some food. And one of the girls I had heard of, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but she was like, I'm an influencer. I just need to get any type of order so I can. But it's the mindset of like I'm an influencer, so it don't matter about the people who waiting in front of me. Let me get some food so I can try to get my numbers on TikTok or Instagram. Another thing that's very bad here. I feel like everyone in Atlanta, I get sick of hearing you don't know what I could do for you, or like the back to the whole you don't know who I am. It's like, unless I feel like people who can do stuff for you, they don't have to tell you you don't know what I. It's like they just would do it. Like, so being a photographer, I'm pretty sure, or just if you being a videographer or just content creator in general, there's a lot of times where people do not give the artist or the creator, the director, whatever, their credit. Like, there are a lot of photos out in the world that I have taken that nobody ever will fucking know because people will not tag the photographer. If they don't want to pay, another thing is, I can give you exposure. I hate that I can't eat off it. I can't go to my rental office. I can't go to the insurance company and be like,
I did this video, so
like
I got you in the long run. My rent gonna be covered because in a few months no, bro, like,
and then, like that doesn't even mean it's going to lead to anything. And even the algorithm will have it where you don't even get to see over 50% of the people you actually follow. You're going to see the main, like, maybe 10 people because they have enough traffic to their page to where Instagram is like, you should be seeing this.
I remember in the past, it used to be like, okay, if you're in a creative space and you're a creator, you know, people will follow you back. Yeah. But now it's so easy to get lost, and like you said, in those algorithms, it's so easy to get lost in, like, so many people have so many inflated followers that, like, they can't even acknowledge that you follow them for them to follow you back. One thing I can respect about it is you have a better chance of exposure nowadays than you did, let's say, 20 or 30 years ago, trying to be an artist. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword because now anybody can get on. I seen this interview with T.I. where he was talking about what the problem in rap is right now, and he's like, everybody can be a rapper. He's like, anybody can be a rapper, and that, because it's so saturated and because it's so easy to create a platform to where you can get exposure, it's much easier than it was back in the 90s. Or, you know, where you had to go to these A&Rs or to these record labels, and you literally had to hand them a tape or a mixtape. Now you start a trend, and it might be popping on TikTok or something, and you next thing you know, you put on, and you may not even be that talented.
Bro, so TikTok then created so many artists.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I'm not gonna be a hater and say, okay, I mean, you gotta eat however you gotta eat. Yeah. But just as beautiful as it is, it's also a very ugly thing because you got some people who just they're not necessarily talented. They just have exposure. Right. And they're trendy.
Got that exposure.
They're trendy. Yeah. Like it's a trendy thing, and I think that, you know, create another segue to a different conversation. That is another reason why I feel like, you know, social media has also played, while it's helped, I feel like music culture, I feel like is also like slightly destroying it as well.
Absolutely.
Because, again, trendy is not talent. Like, somebody may be trendy for the moment, and it might be a trend going on for a few months, and everybody might be on that wave, and then that wave might dissipate, and then now, you know, now you have so many people trying to follow behind and try to do that, and it's not enough people pouring back into the music culture, especially like with hip hop. It's not a lot of people like pouring back into it.
It's working
for now.
Like, there was at a time, like you said, back in the day, you could not sound like the other person. But that's the trendy thing to do. Like,
but see, here's the and not to cut you off, here's the thing that's like almost maddening about it. If you really, really love the culture, it's like, because it's almost like to find a good artist will be the equivalent of finding a specific fish in a big ass ocean. It's like you got so many fish that look alike now and sound alike and dress alike, and it's like now it's hard to decipher who actually is original. Like, you get one Sexy Red, now you got 5,000 Sexy Reds, and it's like now it's hard to distinguish. Oh, there's been so many times where I hear a song. I'm like, dang, is that such and such?
You're right.
And then you look at the name, it's like, I don't even know who this person is.
Dude, everyone is freaking auto-tuned with that same pitch. And, like, it's crazy because, like, I'm pretty sure you have been in sessions with artists, and it's like, you'll hear them talk outside the booth, like this. And then they go in the booth, it's like, why do you sound like this person, that person? Like, you listen to this artist, okay, I want it to sound like this. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of creators are going to wherever they're going and being like, this worked. These people gravitated to this. We should redo this instead of being like, bruh, that was cool, but I think we could do a little spin on it, or we could put their own flavor. Like, there's less going into anything creative for, like, I just want to be myself.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no, like, I'm pretty sure there's even producers, like, that have gone to a studio session and had a thought for the new artists that they're coming to work with, and they were like, I mean, this sound hot right now, so let's work on that sound. Like, even the producer had fell into the, like, this is gonna get the money, this is gonna get the attention, this is gonna get the fame. You know what I mean? And it sucks. Like, it sucks that that's like the norm. Like, if you're not doing the trendy thing, the retweet or the viral thing, is like, why would we listen to you? There are influences, obviously, with, like, that generation that's, like, either your age or my age of artists, where, like, you can hear hints. I feel like that's a big thing now. It's like the producer or artist is just like, I'm influenced by this person. I want to sound like that person. I want to look like that person. I want to dress like that person. Same thing with you said with the Sexy Red thing. Like, you'll see one, and it's like, after a month, every girl is either doing her, either if she move a certain type of way, if she dress a certain way, she dance or sing or sound like the vocal inflections, the way they regularly talk, and like the little slang to everything. Like, thing was like a period. Like, ever since period, bro.
I hate that fucking.
Like, it's
not. It's given.
Yeah,
like, oh,
given,
shut the fuck up. Like, please shut the fuck up. I think I come from a generation that just really didn't care about keeping up with. I mean, of course there was, like, as every generation does. There's things that you follow and things that you do, but now it's just like, in a week's time, it could be something completely different. And while that can be, it's good to be creative, but at the same time, it's like, gotta be creative about stupid shit though. Like, like it's so fucking stupid sometimes. But even going back, like, I wanna track back to what you were saying about how artists, instead of having hints of influences, they want to completely mimic.
Completely emulate.
They want to completely mimic somebody else's style. Yeah, maybe you want to mimic the longevity of their career or the success of their career, but if you look at it, it's only a few artists that stand out enough to where you would even understand why somebody would want to be exactly like that.
Right.
Nowadays, it's so washed up, and it's so regurgitate, rinse, and repeat, that it's like, what exactly are y'all trying to emulate at this point? Even the topics that they talk about nowadays. I remember that it used to be, okay, while it's still not something that you should have glorified, the people who are selling drugs, they sold drugs and that was it.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm selling drugs, like with Biggie. I'm selling drugs, this is my situation, I gotta get my daughter some shoes.
Right.
I'm gonna serve it to these J's over here. But now it's like, not only am I selling the drugs, I'm doing the drugs. I'm doing the drugs. Like, hell yeah, I did a line of coke before I got on this track. Hell yeah, I'm doing lean. I'm off coke.
Herbs,
I'm off pills.
Molly.
I'm barely even standing up in the studio. And it's like, bro, like, I now have people that I'm associated with that will casually just tell you, I did a line of coke. And it's like, bro, I come from a time where that shit was like something that you're not supposed, like, what is mind blowing. Like, people,
the comfortability of, like, the most bizarre shit. Now it's like I said, bro, we know too much information about nothing, and then they look at you like you crazy for not sharing more. So I'm like, I didn't think that's you. I didn't even know.
Willing to partake. Like, I literally, there was this girl, tried to find the shit. Yeah. So I'm talking to her, and we having a conversation, and she's like, so what are your deal breakers? And I'm like, look, I was like, as long as you got your shit together, as long as you know you you're of sound mind and body, and you aren't living a life that hurts people. That's one of the things that I look for. You know, might drink a little drink here and there. I was like, but as far as like hard drugs, I've never been into them. And she's like, well, what classifies as hard drugs? I'm like,
that right
I'm
there.
like,
you own
coke,
right.
heroin, like, you know, things like that shit. Like, so you wouldn't date a girl who does coke? I was like, not purposely, no. Like, I had to tap into her mom, like, well, why you do coke?
Right.
Like, why do you do coke? She's like, it's just fun. Like, I be, you know, it's
fun.
It's just like, I be, you know, if I go to a concert or if I'm at a festival or, you know, sitting around my friends, like, I might do a line of coke. I'm like, nigga. Friend, I done been at gatherings and all of a sudden we chilling, we might be kiki haha, maybe we playing some Uno or some shit, and then you might have that one person that's just like, hey, anybody want to do some coke? And I'm just like,
about my time to go ahead and hit the dusty trail. They look like this game over early.
Hey,
do you know what'll kill me? They won't smoke weed, but they'll do every hard drug in the book. Of course, I get offered drinks all night long when I'm shooting at these events by the promoter or the bottle girls or whatever, over and over and over, and they look so like mentally distraught and they can't understand why like I don't drink. And it's like they gotta, as soon as they hear that, especially if someone I'm like out with, they immediately gotta tell me, well, oh, I only drink here and there. It's like, nope, you ain't gotta do that. If you drink, you drink. You ain't gotta do the breakdown of when you drink, why you drink, why you don't. I don't even drink like this. Like, you ain't gotta do all that. It's, if you drink, that's your choice. I'm not judging. It's just as far as deal breakers, like you were saying,
yeah,
that is a big deal breaker for me. Like, if my girl drinks, it's a deal breaker. Just because I don't drink.
Yeah. And
I know how, like, that can turn the most innocent, the most simple, like, interaction or conversation or situation into something that it didn't need to be. Like, 9 times out of 10, most people can't handle their liquor. Like, there are, you know, the handful of drunks now that are the happy drunks, that are the, boy, I love you, boy. Remember that time back then? Or, like, the girl who just want to be held and watch the, like, that's rare. Now it's like, if they get that little fire in their system, it's like, I'm bringing up some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm starting something that didn't have nothing to do with the situation. We could be out. Like you said, you could have been at the friend's house with playing the Uno. Mm-hmm. They get that liquor in them. Well, fucking David had said, like, what did that have to do with the game? But not a lot of people want to just do the 1 or 2 drinks. They feel like, oh, I got to do this shot. Oh, if I see a shot, I gotta take the shot. Ain't no bitch, and it's like, just I'm always cool. Like, even with like smoking, I'm always cool. Just give me a little buzz, a little buzz.
But see, people, they don't. Again, like you said, they don't know how to do that because it's like, one, if you are with a group of people, and I do understand the pressure, it's like, nah, take the shot, shot. And like I said, I drink, but I also know my limit, though.
Right.
It's like, man, like you said, I need just a little bit to get buzzed. Bro, when I was younger and I was drinking, it seemed like when I was younger, people were able to hold their liquor down. Like,
right.
And now, bro, it's like babysitting adults. You go somewhere, fights break out. People want it. That's why I don't, like, if I'm a drink, I'm finna drink in the house, or I'm finna drink around some people that I know. Because you go out, especially here in Atlanta, fights break out, people get shot, people get robbed. It's like, I'm not fucking with it. Like, I'm not fucking with it. Not only do you want to you want to drink, you also want to smoke some weed. Mm-hmm. Then you want to put some coke on top of it. Right. Like, it's like, bro, you
want to drink, smoke, pop something. Yeah.
Bro, I was at this Thanksgiving party, and I knew dude had to do something. Like, I knew he had to go out to his car and do something, because when he came back, his whole personality changed. I don't know. And it's like, do you, like, whatever you into, man, do that shit. But
that's
I just
my
know
thing.
for me,
like, do you? But if you can't handle that shit, like, there's some crackheads right now. They can do crack right in front of you and still be the same as before they hit you.
Yeah. I'll be that person, because again, I'm not shit face drunk, but I feel like I drive better.
Right.
And please listen, do not drink and drive. Don't drink and drive by all means. But I do feel like I'm that rare person. Right. I'm gonna get behind that wheel. Listen, I'm about to be coasted, and you're not even gonna know the difference. Like, and that's why I'm saying it's a deal breaker for me, because I've dated women who they may be like super chill. Like, you might be super dope. Like, oh, she cool. You a little vibe, but As soon as you get a little substance in your system, it's a completely different person that comes out. It's
see, for me, I feel like that's the real person. Because that was the energy you've been hiding the whole time. Because like I said, if you get drunk and get happy, you just a happy person. But if you get drunk and you get angry, that's the type of people who bottle shit up, don't express themselves when they sober, and then as soon as they get, then they sitting there like this. That motherfucker said something earlier.
Yeah.
She looked at me a certain way.
But that's really how it is. That's why I don't, man, I won't be around a bunch of people. Like, if I'm around you, like, and we finna vibe out on some alcohol, like, I have to know you.
Yeah. I don't know y'all energy.
Yeah.
Liquored up.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a safe environment. You always gotta be on your P's and Q's, especially here in Atlanta. Like, Atlanta is the stay on your P's and Q's capital.
Atlanta's not a real place, bro.
Yeah, it's not. This shit is Red Dead Redemption. You always have to. You gotta watch the girls. They may rob you. They might set you up. You gotta watch the dudes. And this is a big thing that makes me like kind of step back. Everybody is, what's up, twin? What's up, twin?
Yeah, that too friendly shit, man. I can't fuck with the too friendly shit.
And some people look at that like, oh, you just don't trust nobody. No, I don't. And it's like, it just makes me more on my P's and Q's. You get that like ulterior motive energy real fast in Atlanta. Like that quickly, like, oh, like, you better watch out. Like, it's almost like Atlanta people remind you immediately. Like, if you, especially like, when you first come here, you're either going to be two ways. You're either going to be very gullible and susceptible and wide-eyed to Atlanta, or you're going to be quick to be like, oh, this is some bullshit. I'm going to maneuver the way I maneuver.
Yeah.
But this is some bullshit.
You said something real strong. You got to have discernment. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to be able to figure people out.
Right.
Like, because, you got to be able to figure people out, because I always make the joke. I'm like, man, Atlanta's not a real place. I've been here my whole life.
Yeah.
Atlanta's not a real place. And let me tell you why. Because, like you said, if you cannot spot somebody who is trying to scam you or trying to get over it, you're trying to sweet talk you, bro, you're gonna get taken for everything. Like, but you do also have those genuine people too, who genuinely want to look out for you. But those are gonna be the people who are not gonna be in your face immediately, because what they are doing, they sitting back and watching. Like, you should be sitting back and watching.
Right, exactly.
The people who sitting back and watching, like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. I'm not fucking with that person. Those are the people you need to gravitate to, because they're gonna sit back and they're gonna be questioning everything. I always tell people who from out of town, man, you gotta find your tribe. Like, you gotta find the people who you gonna mesh with, because you really gotta figure out the type of people that you want to roll with, because there's a bunch of different type of people down here. You got the bona fide celebrities that's down here. Chances are you're not going to be able to roll with that crowd, because they're not going to venture too far outside their circle, because they know what the fuck is up.
Right.
Then you got the people who want to be the celebrities, who they're going to show up to all the places that the celebrities are. They're going to do all the things the celebrities going to do. Difference is between them, they probably ain't got the budget. They're going to look like they got the budget.
Yeah.
They're going to act like they got the budget. Chances are they're not going to have the budget. And those are going to be the people who, like he said, they're going to be like, do you know what I can do for you? Then you got the people who they don't necessarily want to be the celebrity. They just want the glitz and the glamour. And I feel like that's the most dangerous class of people, because those are going to be the people who are going to be willing to do anything for it.
Yeah.
Either they're going to jug for it, either they're going to hit a lick for it, either they're going to scam for it. They damn near not going to work for that shit. Yeah. They're going to have 3-4 hustles, and most of them ain't going to be legal. And those are the people who want it. They want to look like it. They don't necessarily want to be it. They want to look like it. Then under that, you got the people who, man, they just trying to get by. Like, I'm trying to get by. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. I'm really just trying to put my work in, have my little bit of fun here, have me something nice, and go on home. Then you got the people who don't have any of that shit, and that's another dangerous class of people, because they not finna fuck with you. Right. They finna rob you. Right. They going right back to the willing to do anything. And it's what they're willing to do is it's not, they ain't gonna be like the third class of people. They really gonna do whatever they gotta do. Right. To get whatever they gotta get.
That's the danger.
That's the dangerous.
Life threatening. Do whatever I gotta do.
Yeah. And it's like you gotta figure those people out. I like the class of people who they just want to do their thing, and they want to just have a good time, live their life, and go on about their business. And those are people you really got to look out for. Those are the people who stay out the way.
Right.
Like they're not gonna be at the club every day. They're not gonna be, at the most popular places. They're not gonna be at Toast on Linux taking pictures of their food and waiting outside and being like post on their gram at Toast at Linux and I just spent a band. But it's not gonna be those type of people.
I get sick of seeing. I get it, it's a classic trend, but like you said with the whole I'm at this place, so let you know I'm at this place and make sure to like get the picture of the menu so you know I'm at this place. Yeah. You remember like the classic like, oh, I'm in this specific car?
Yeah.
Like take a picture of the car but make sure they see the headrest like the emblem. Like when it's all said and done, my whole I don't ever care. Like money has never been like a must for me. Of course, you got to make money to live, and you know what I mean. You got I want to make enough money to be comfortable. You got to make enough money to be comfortable, but like for me, money is never going to make me do shit out of the plan, out of my path. Like you said, there are that group of people who like willing to do whatever to get to that next step, and it's like when you get to that next step, we live in that era like it's like the people who like OnlyFans, so it's like, yeah, you got to the next step. Yeah. But how the fuck did you get there?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like there is a double standard for the men and women in like of what you can do before you get to the next step. But it's like people remember.
Yeah.
Like in the classic, like an elephant never forgets. Like motherfuckers remember who you was, how you used to move, who you used to frequent around, places you used to go before you started being who you are now. Yeah. So it's like, and a lot of people think that just like as long as I get to the next step, it won't fucking matter. But it's like, if you burn the genuine person bridge 20 times to get to the next part,
you're going to be in the den with snakes.
You just, once you get to that next step, the people who you gonna need to vouch for you being at that next step are all the people you fucking burn.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand that. Like, that's why the people say, like, it's the classic of, like, oh, we should go back to the hood and get back, because it's like, in a sense you should. You don't have to live there. But in a sense, it's almost like that mentality, like, I go back because this keeps me humble. This remind me of where the fuck I'm from, who I actually am. Yeah. Like, them the people who know your darkest secrets. Them the people who know who you really are, what you really about, how this really came about. Like, if your whole circle becomes the whatever the next step is, they looking at you like, we don't know you. They looking at you like, who the hell are you? And you gonna get cast out in your so-called sought-out after group. Yeah. Like, people think they want that next level, but yes, you want that next level with the people you was at the last level. If you can find those genuine people who will struggle with you, but like want to see you win and progress, and not that they're holding you back. There's a difference between people who struggling with you and people who holding you back, and people want to see you do better, but they are holding you back. Like, if you can get those people who like whatever you're doing, they support it. They'll spend their last on it. They'll whatever you got going on, they'll push that shit. Those are the people you want to bring along. Like the next step. When you get to the next step, you don't want to just, oh, I met this new person because I'm in this new light now. Yeah. That new person is going to treat you on some Hollywood shit, just like, oh, what can you do for me now that you in this fucking room? Yeah, because they wouldn't fuck with you until you got to that point. Under any other circumstance. And you hear a lot of people who make it to that step talk about it, and that's why I think I'm not a psychiatrist no shit, but I would imagine just from my human experiences, that's why so many people who finally get to that level, you see them months or like a couple of years down the line, and they're just mentally distraught. They're just mentally burned out because, like you said, you done stepped over so many heads to get to where you are that now you need people who are going to keep you grounded, but the people who are going to keep you grounded are going to be the people who genuinely care about you. Right. You're in a snake full of den. You're in a den full of snakes. So they don't care about you being grounded. They care about what can you do for them. Now you are going to be around a bunch of yes men because you in the position to help them eat. Right. And they going to take you for everything that you got. Sad to say, it's some people who done took charges for people. Yeah. Like doing life or doing years in prison. When they come home, that person that they took that rap for don't even pick up a phone. Don't call them because it's like, oh, I ain't talking to them. They gonna pull me down. They want to ask me. It's like, but bro, do you know you were here, but because now you ain't got to give your last dime to that person. But if it's anybody who you should fucking care about, or fucking look after, should be the person who, if not them, not being as genuine and selfless, that they was said, bro, you got something to, like, you got some shit going. Like, you the one out of all of us. Like, I'm gonna take this. This shit sucks, but when you get to where you need to be and I get out, just look after me. That's why I said we know a lot of nothing, because a lot of times people get set up by their old homies.
Yeah, that's why it's, a lot of people think about how many celebrities you hear about, even outside of celebrities. But we just gonna focus on celebrities. How many celebrities get killed in their own neighborhood? Look at, and it's a reason why you can't go back there. And it's probably like you said, because either you have done people wrong, or people are jealous of what you have, or they want you to feed them, and like, or it could be those friends that you felt like, oh well, you was holding me back, so I had to leave you. So now they feel like you owe them something. So it's like you have to be really, really mindful about how you move. I think anybody who has lived long enough has had either a friend or group of friends that they have either had to kind of leave behind, separate yourself from, or if you have friends over a certain age, it's either one or two things. Either these friends, like you said, they wanted to see you succeed and eat no matter what, so they're going to support whatever you do, because they knew if you were in the same position as them, that you would do for them what they're doing for you. So typically when people have friends for a long time, it's because they have that understanding. Or you are at a certain age where you lost a lot of friends. Because either you the person who got double crossed, or you the person who double crossed somebody. And now you in the space of life where either you can't fuck with nobody, or don't nobody fuck with you. It's a common knowledge. Money changes things with people. Money absolutely changes things. I'm a regular dude. And I definitely have had friends in the past that I've had to leave in the past because I wanted to do things different in my personal life for the betterment of my existence and for, what I feel like was going to propel me forward as a person, and they couldn't get down with it. Imagine if I'm being flown out here, there, and you still back here in East Atlanta, and you like, oh, I know him. Oh, you don't know, buddy. Oh no, that used to be the old home. Man, you don't know that.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, you don't know this, man. No, they used to be, man. Imagine the type of mentality that develops under that, and it would be nobody's fault but your own, because it's like, typically, I would imagine people who want to see the people that they love do better, they're gonna do whatever they have to do, or they're gonna put you in a position to better yourself. So that you can come on this path with them. I don't know people who genuinely care about somebody who's not going to give you an opportunity to better yourself. And again, like I said, you have to have a little bit of discernment, because I've also had friends who I felt like, oh, that's my homie, and then they'll be in a position to help me, and it would never be a conversation. It would be like, oh no, man, I can't, cause this or that, or this reason or that reason. It's like, bro, if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't even be a question. You wouldn't even have to ask me. It's just gonna get done because I know you my man. Like, so if I know if you got a talent, or you can do something, and I'm in a position to be like, hey, yo, check my guy out. Like, why not? It's just a conversation. But you got some dudes or some men or women who are so afraid of you obtaining what they want first, that
part right there,
they're not even about to put you in a position, put you in those rooms, put you in those conversations, because they're afraid of you getting what they want the most. It's like, oh nah, hell no, I can't. I'm not. He can't have that unless I get it first. If I get it, then I want the power to decide whether you can have it or not. I think it may be a universal thing, but it's definitely prevalent here in America. Like when we went to Japan, we talked about, how different the vibe was and how different the experience was with the people, the places, just the energy there. And it's like you come back and you start to understand that, like, we don't necessarily have a friendly culture.
We don't have a respectful culture. That was the biggest thing I took being over in Japan. Like the just pure respect of, like, this is your space, this is my space. We can flow. It was like watching water. And then like they're in their own little world over there. Like remember when we first got off that train and got up to like our main street, like it looks like a video game. Like it's a whole nother vibe, whole nother energy. Like we said, there's a whole nother world over there. And it's like they're not concerned with that. Like they got everything over there. I think that's a bigger part about it. Like us over here, we have to import shit. We have to get everything. Like we were talking about at the very beginning. Like our culture, besides like us as like black people, like America doesn't really have a culture.
Yeah.
Like because it's so much shit and the basis of America, it isn't even like the people. Like no offense, this ain't to get into race and shit like that, but like the people who say that this is their country stole it to begin with. Yeah. So it's like there is really no culture. Everything is stolen. Everything is something else. And I feel like over there, you felt like they just were so content and they were like just thriving and just being them.
And the thing about America is like it's an amalgamation of like a bunch of rotating parts. And when you hit something on the head when you said America itself doesn't have a culture, it's a melting pot of cultures. And the thing, it's a good thing and it's also a bad thing because it's like you have, instead of us teaching principles like, hey, we should have a more adapting. And not that maybe we're getting to that point in America, maybe with this new generation that's coming in, some of the new generation. I'm not going to say it as a whole because some of y'all motherfuckers are just like, what the fuck is going on? It's not pushed in American culture that you should adopt principles that make you accepting and interact with this culture and this culture because it is a melting pot. Yeah. It's still, it's them over there. So us over here. And then you have select groups that want to intermingle and try to push being intermingling, whereas there it seems like it's almost taught to them that hey, we all in this bitch, like we all in this bitch. Like I was so shocked. One, remember what we kept saying? We was like, there's no way this country is this clean. There's no way this country is this clean and this considerate. But one, I'm gonna tell y'all now. Even walking on the streets, you don't find no trash cans. You won't find any trash cans. You literally see people vacuuming the concrete. We're like, what the fuck?
That blew my fucking mind. Dude was out there with the vacuum on the concrete. It wasn't dirty to begin with because I'm pretty sure he just vacuumed 5 minutes ago. But it's like, like I said, the respect is like, if you come to my business or my home or wherever, I want you to know this is a respectable place.
Yes. We're so oblivious and I think we're too much into our own world. Like with them, they understand, it seems like they understand that like, yeah, we're in our own world, but we're in our own world together.
Right.
With here over in America, it's like we're in our own world, but we're in our own world apart. There is no operating outside the confines of what they've established as a society.
Right.
There is no operating on that because they will check your ass. Like remember that night you was going to take pictures in the middle of the street and you wanted to cross the street, and little buddy was like, no, very bad. Don't do that. Like,
I thought I was going to jail right there.
It doesn't give you the impression that authority is imposed upon you because there's very little police presence there, and their police presence isn't so oppressing as it is here in America. Like when you see police here in America, it's kind of like, oh shit, let me straighten up. There, it's not like that. Like, and of course, there's no perfect place in America. I mean, no, not in America. There's no perfect place in the world, but you just get a sense of, hey, bro, you can fucking relax and be a human being here. Like you can, as long as you don't do anything to disrupt the peace that we've established.
Right.
It wasn't just like that it was like that in Tokyo. It was like that in Kyoto. It was like that in Osaka. It was like that in Shinosaki. It was like, which gives you the impression that, like, no, the country's just like that. Yeah. Like it's just like that. For those who haven't traveled outside of the country, I've been to different places in the world, and that's not something that you see. It's not normal. It's outside of the norm. And when you start to hear people, like, because long before I even went there, and I was telling people, y'all going to Japan, they're like, oh my God, you're gonna love it, but you're gonna be blown away by how clean and how cultured it is. And it's like, yeah. To me, when I was here, I was like, man, y'all overhyping this shit.
Right.
Like, bruh, y'all making this place sound like a fairy tale, some radical, unbelievable shit. But no, it's really like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's really like that. And again, like you said, the whole respect factor of, hey, this is my space. You're welcome to my space, but you have to understand that there has to be common respect.
Right.
Over here, unfortunately, there is no common respect. It's respect depending on where you are in life. It's
right.
What people respect over here is status.
Mm-hmm.
Like over there, it's not. Okay,
over here, it's classism. Like, if you at this class or this status, like you said, then you can get this certain type of respect. Over there, it's like, I don't care if you're an infant. If you're 99 years old, I'm gonna treat you the same way. Mm-hmm. Like you said, that like over there they treat each other like human fucking beings. Like, we all gotta make this globe go around. And over here it's like, well, who the hell are you?
And it's not even that they haven't adopted other principles or other cultures over there, because it's very diverse. Mm-hmm. It was a lot more diverse than I thought it would be. Now there's a thick ass language barrier, which we wasn't expecting. Like, they don't speak English.
Definitely don't have the Rosetta Stone.
Like, they don't speak English over there. Don't get fucked up. Like,
honestly, I love that though.
Yeah, like
I try to be like, of course, being an American, like we're so ignorant. Like, when we go to a foreign country, we want people to speak our language, and it's like over there, we got so humble because like we would be trying to say the most simplest thing. But we would have to Google Translate. And then another thing with Google Translate, I mean, it saved our fucking ass over there.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, it would have been a lot of times where we wouldn't have even gone to certain places, like around the city, around the country, just because we wouldn't have known the type of train to get on and off of. Like, that's, bro, the train.
Bro.
The transportation there.
It's like an airport. Like, each train station is literally like an airport.
Man, and it's so many people. Like, when we went to on the bullet train, to go to Shinosaki and go to Kyoto, like, if you have social anxiety, like I was telling you, if you have social anxiety, it's either going to immediately cure it because it's such a, like, there's a lot here, or you're going to fucking freak out.
Yeah. Like,
everywhere. I mean, whether it's a store, on the street, at a restaurant, like, everywhere has people upon people upon people.
And
it's
things
like
upon things upon things.
And
if you have ADHD, good luck, motherfucker. Because like
you're gonna be.
If you have social anxiety and ADHD,
I don't even have anxiety, but I feel like if you're over there, you could get a habit of anxiety just because it's a sensory overload. Like he was saying, like the people were telling him, like, it's gonna be an unbelievable experience. It's unlike you like never experienced before. And he's right, like, it's true. Like, you're literally going to be overwhelmed with like the littlest things to the most obscure shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, that going in that train station, and like I said, we don't know the language, so it's like you're looking up at these, and it's like 30 fucking places. It's 30. Go from Shinosaki to Kyoto to Shinjuku to Hanjuku to Kaiyuku to hey, like it's like, oh, and again, because we don't know the language, they may say a certain blase juku, but because we only heard the juku, we're looking up at the train
and
thing,
like five of them. And one of the things that's also a benefit to us is because, again, like how we said, there's such a respect factor. Mm-hmm. It's like and it flows like water. Yeah. You don't have people like bumping up against your shoulders and brushing past you. It's like, no, when you going up the steps, you walk up this fucking line, and these people are coming down this line. So you don't really have people. Is that
a thing in America?
Nah.
Elevators, like, this is if you just don't want to walk part, and this is the walk up part.
It's supposed to be like that, but we're in America. People are in such a rush, and they are not. They're so oblivious to their surroundings. They're stuck in their own world that they're not going to pay attention.
Because I hadn't seen that until we went there. Like, when we got off the train initially, like, coming to Tokyo, and then you were like, oh, you're supposed to stand over, like...
Yeah, because people was looking at us crazy. They're like... They weren't looking at us crazy. They're just like, you can tell that they was like, oh, they're foreigners. They don't really know what's going on. But you catch on quick. You're like, oh, well, no, we need to walk over here because all these people are walking over here. And like while the train stations are super packed, again, like how you said, it flows like water because they're so courteous that it's almost, I think to an American it would be annoying. You're so fucking courteous that it's
like I said with the sorry shit. It's why are they saying sorry?
But it's not annoying because they're doing something wrong. It's annoying because it's just like it's not what you're used to.
Yeah, it's why are you being so nice?
Yeah, it forces you to be courteous, right. which can be like kind of annoying because like damn, they're so courteous that like now I have to be courteous, which takes me out of my comfort zone.
Right.
But then it's also it makes you even more humble because it makes you look inside as like damn. Why am I getting mad? Because I have to be courteous.
Right.
So now you're internalizing and questioning yourself, and now you're challenged to be a better version of yourself because now you are around a culture that is nothing but a better version of themselves. Yeah. And like it's just an experience that every day since I've gone to that country. I even text you the other day like, do you feel different spiritually? Like being so far removed around the toxicity that.
And we literally went the furthest we could have went away from Atlanta.
Yeah,
by going to Tokyo.
And I'm not trying to shit on America. Like I'm blessed because I could have been born anywhere else in the world. And there's definitely cultures that are much worse, that have much worse living conditions, that have much worse psychological conditions. But there are also countries that are much better. Right. And so like it's a weird paradigm to be in, if that's the right word. To be able to experience something that you should aspire to be, and also being in a place that you need to be living in a place that you're grateful for, but go to somewhere where you need to aspire to be. Like it's because there's some people who are fighting tooth and nail to get over here to America. They're like, damn, if I could just get to America, because our situation is so bad. But then you leave America and you go to a country, you be like. God, they told us America was like the best place ever. Yeah. Like, bruh.
We had that like step back of like, oh, this is really how it is.
But I think one of the benefits over there that we may not have over here is because it's the fact that they are so courteous. Your biggest hurdle is going to be the language barrier and really just being able to adapt to their culture. Right. But I think that they have systems in place that will help ease that transition. Whereas in America, it's just going to be tough. Like if you like think about how many people come over here from Mexico, and they really it's got to be 10 of them motherfuckers to a house, and they all got to pay rent because that language while there are systems in place, you can go to a certain side of town. Like, unless you go somewhere that speaks that language, you're going to have a hard time. I don't think it will be as hard of a transition because they're so willing to help you. Yeah. Like, we didn't speak no English, bro. I
never felt like somebody was getting mad because I didn't know something. Like, I feel like over here, if you did not know English, you would quickly get that like, oh, you don't know fucking...
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Over there, like I said, we're on Google Translate to go either to get a taxi, to get something to eat, to freaking... it doesn't matter, at a store to get clothes, at whatever, everything on the train, like we said, we have to know because we don't know, hey, how do you say this, or is this where we're supposed to go, is this what we're supposed to say, do? And it's like, I feel like every person was just like, oh, no, this is... And they would type back or they would say like, oh, no, it's just... But like, I feel like if that was the situation on the other foot...
Oh, America's not... You're not stopping.
If we were from Tokyo trying to figure out to maneuver, and it'd rather be Atlanta or New York, bro, let's just go sit in a hotel.
So I know that we have a culture that is not... It's not... They don't teach you patience. They teach you that, hey, you got to be on a schedule. You got to be on time to this. If you're not on time, there's going to be consequences. But I hear that in certain countries over there that they will pay you to be on maternity leave. Or they will pay you, basically they have systems in place that make sure that your mental health is prioritized. Okay. Over here, you need to work a 40-hour week. And you need to go seek some psychiatrist or some therapy on your own.
Right.
Whereas in different countries, and not all countries, but there's definitely countries that like prioritize that for you. Like I said, now I don't want to just shit on America like this is the worst place I've ever been. I've definitely been to worse countries.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely been to countries that's just like, bro, ain't no way, motherfucking hell, I would ever live.
Right.
Y'all don't have clean water. It was just an experience, man. It was, and like how they prioritize your health as well. Another thing that astonished us is like the vending machines out there. They are not addicted to sugar.
Teas upon teas.
Tea and water.
Yeah.
My boy, take this water or take this tea. One, they don't rely on cars as transportation. Everybody, like, unless, like, the people that we driving the most was either Uber or taxis. Of course, you have people who have their own personal cars, but the overwhelming majority is either taking trains or walking. And that, again, it wasn't just imposed on one city.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that in Tokyo. It was like that in Osaka. It was like that in Kyoto. And again, it's the trend that you see. It has to be like that throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be real with you. Another thing that I noticed, you just don't see a lot of overweight people over there. You just did not see a lot of overweight people. You see
people moving, bro.
Yeah, you see people moving. And that's not to say everybody was skinny, but the vast majority, like...
I don't remember a fat person. I have a good memory, but I do not remember seeing a handful of big people. Like, overweight to where it's like... Because, like, dude, we would get up at 8:30 in the morning, go eat. We out moving by 10.
And we walking for 12 hours.
Age 1 to 99, they either walking, on a bike, up early. Like when we went to Shinosaka, we stayed out. One of probably our best nights.
Yeah, till like 5 in the morning.
Till like 5 in the morning. No. Till like 8.
Oh yeah. Because we did. Yeah, we came back and then we went to the train station.
Mm-hmm. And it's like 8 a.m. Right as we walk into the hotel to go in there, we see a family walking out. It's like 7:30 in the morning. They fully dressed. They barely get their day going. Now, mind you, we have been out all night, but it's like they don't sleep there. But it's like they're always just on the go. I never felt like they was tired.
Yeah.
Like it would be a family at like 4 or 5 in the morning walking. Everything keeps going.
On their stores, most of all, what you're gonna see is like little small markets,
But there's like 20 of them, so it's like even out to one store.
Yeah, and it's like you don't see a bunch of snacks. You see water. You see tea. If you see some chips, they're gonna be like, seaweed chips or
obscure ass chips.
Yeah, like rice cakes or something small. Like, which gives me the impression that like the reason why we will walk down this alleyway and we see so many places to eat and walk down this alleyway it's because they're promoting you to be outside.
Yeah.
What my coworker lied because she said, "Oh, you're gonna spend a hell of money on food." The food was not expensive.
No,
the food was not expensive at all over there.
That you could get with $50, you could eat like a king all week, like from breakfast, lunch to dinner, like with American money. Now it might be different for when you transfer it to their money, but I still didn't feel like even with their money, I never felt like I was like blowing a bag on eating.
No.
And it would be shit that would fill you up. That's another big thing. Like you said, like the portions and stuff, or like the selection. They are very good at making food that's filling, right? But it's not a big, like if they don't have to do a lot. Like I had that steak and that pizza.
Yeah.
That pizza was like paper thin, with like a couple little strips of salami or ham on it or whatever. Bruh, that shit filled me up for the rest of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Like you said, you vegan or vegetarian, you had your rice, but we would eat just a couple times and like, of course we would be like, because we're walking and we're used to being over here and getting hungry after a certain amount of time. I felt like as the week went on, us eating their food, I feel like I could eat like one meal
and be straight
the rest of the whole day until it was nighttime for us to eat like dinner. And it's like, I think it's because there's no hormones.
Yeah.
Again, they're not importing stuff. They just got that from the dock this morning. That shit fresh. There ain't no added, whatever you want to call it, hormones or
food coloring
or freaking
like, and sugar. They're not pumping that shit full of sugar. Yeah. It's flavored, but it's not a mountain of salt. Right. In that shit. Like I was thoroughly surprised by how like it's their markets are not over. It's not oversaturated with cookies and cake and all the things that you come like. You walk into a Quick Trip right now, bro. You're gonna see Twix and Snickers and eat these muffins and eat these chips and drink this soda and drink this Red Bull and I'm guilty because I just had a Red Bull. Eat
Over there, they get you what you need, and you gonna be good the rest of it. Like we said, there ain't. You can find a soda. It's hard as fuck to find a soda. Like I think the one time I actually did get a soda is when I had that burger, like at that little van truck stop that they was making burger. That might have been the one time where it was like a pop to drink. Other times it was just lemonade, tea, and I had ginger ale. I was so thankful that they had ginger ale.
Oh yeah, this man could not find a ginger ale to save his fucking life.
That with those vending machines, those were such a trip to me because it wasn't just drinks. Like you could literally get a full meal.
Yeah.
Out of a vending machine. Besides the day when we first got there, we had those noodles.
Yeah.
Everything else we ate was fucking fire.
Yeah, busting. Breakfast was busting.
Yeah.
Bruh, that fresh fruit. Got me some fresh fruit. Got me I don't know what that bread was. It was like cranberry or berry bread. I don't know what the fuck it was. You throw that in the microwave and let it crisp up. Not microwave, but the toaster. You let it crisp up. Yeah. Had me some rice, some miso soup, some fruits, and some I don't know what bean soup that was. It was fire though. It was purely an experience. It was a good experience. It was an eye-opening experience, and it kind of just makes you want to travel more, become more well versed, and submerge yourself in different cultures because it's like not that you get lied to over here, but again, it is pushed in your face that it doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, like absolutely,
there's nothing in the world. America is the greatest country of all. You're like yeah. Then you go outside and you run into some people who are really doing this shit, and it's like, bro.
How many times did we say America get your shit together?
Yeah.
The price of like I said, you could eat like a king over there for the low, and it's like, again, like I was telling you, I think it's because, bless you, they don't have to import.
Yeah.
So they don't have to tax on a fucking chicken wing.
Oh yeah, and then chicken's tax free over there. Like tax fucking free.
One of the craziest moments was when we were in Shinosaka, right? He gets a headache, like or a migraine.
Oh yeah.
Go to Shinosaka, right? And we book a hotel that's in Osaka. This is our ignorance. We don't know that Shinosaka and Osaka are like almost an hour and a half apart. Like Osaka is like on damn near like the coast. Like if you was to go to California, like right by the damn water, right? Yeah. Shinosaka is like the city part, the fun part of Osaka. We get an Uber and we're driving for like 10-15 minutes, right? Before you know, we've been driving for like almost an hour. So then we have to turn back around, find a new hotel, and by he gets a headache, he's like, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm just thinking he's tired. Like we've been traveling. Remember, we got up at like 10 a.m., got on the bullet train, which took 2 hours, but it took us probably like 45 minutes just to get to the bullet train to get to Shinosaka in the first place. So this is like a 3+ hour like just endeavor just to get to Shinosaka, and then we drove an hour out. Then we got to drive an hour back. So we get to the hotel in Shinosaka. He's like, I got a headache. Me being the person I am, I don't want him to miss out because regardless, like I'm gonna go out just so we can get this content for the day and shoot, right? So I'm like, all right, let me try to find him some Advil or like something for his headache. So I go to the mart like right down, right on the corner of the hotel, and they don't know what Advil is. They don't have Advil. Advil is not a thing. They don't do ibuprofen. They don't do Advil. They don't do Tylenol. Again, that is an imported thing. They don't have it. So they have what they have is called E. Now this is not at the grocery store, because when I was at the grocery store, a lady helped me and she was like, it was something for like body ache or something like that. It wasn't headache medicine. So they're so crazy. As I'm walking back down the street, I see 2 black people. I think they're American, right? This is just somebody who looked like me. They don't know English. They knew English, but they were African, right? It just so happened I was asking them like, hey, do you know where I can get like something like Advil? And they're like, yeah, they don't have that here. They have something called Eve, and you have to get it from a drugstore. Mind you, it's like 11 o'clock. No, it's like 9:30 or whatever. It's like 9:30, 10. So wherever the fuck this is at, it's probably going to be closed by the time I get there, or I just don't know where it's at. So it's like, I don't want to just drive and not know where the fuck I'm going, right? So she's like, I have some. if he takes this, he'll be good in like 10 minutes. Mind you, I told you he has a headache or a migraine. Like,
fucking migraine, bro. My head was
right.
robbing.
And she says this is going to get rid of it in like 10 to 15 minutes. She goes up to her apartment, comes back, and brings me the Eve. I go back into the hotel, give it to my cousin, and then I go out. What was it, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
Nah, it was like 12.
12? Okay.
Like 12. I wake up, I'm like, I'm lit. I'm like,
yeah. It really worked. Like, around that time, he calls me. He's like, hey, where you at? I'm good. I'm on my way. And that's when we stayed out till like 7. But it's like, I've never heard of an Advil, a Tylenol, an Excedrin getting rid of no migraine in 10 minutes.
Bruh.
Like, what did they put, well, actually, what did they not put in that to get rid of a migraine?
Like, if you ever had a migraine, it ain't like a headache.
Right.
Migraine, it'll have you down bad.
Yeah.
Like, I've had migraines a couple of times in my life, and it's like, I gotta take like 3 or 4 Advil or some shit, and I gotta sit for at least an hour, hour or so, and then even then, it's like, I still don't want to do shit. Man, I took that shit, I made it roll over. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, cuz, where you at? I was so good. Look, listen, I didn't even want to take a cab to where I was going. Yeah. I'm about to coast. It feels good outside. I'm about to walk. Like, I had the cab drop me off like 10 minutes away from where he was.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I feel like walking. I got out the car. I'm lollygagging and shit. Cuz, like, where you at? I'm like, bro, I'm walking. Yeah. I'm seeing sights. I'm doing whatever I do. Like, I was good until like 7 in the morning. Yeah. And even then, I still wasn't tired, bro. Like, I still was not tired. I highly recommend for anybody that wants to get out of our borders and see the world and really get a taste of what like life can be outside of what you're told it should be. Right. Like, yeah. I highly recommend, like, cause it was definitely worth the trip. It's definitely somewhere I will continue to visit throughout my life. Yeah. And once my children get older, that's probably going to be where I end up. Like, I could definitely see myself ending up. I told you that
when you was like, would you live? I was like, bro, I've been wanting to live here even before I ever came here.
Tokyo is like in my opinion, it would be like the LA of Japan. Yeah. Like, you got all the high end fashion there. You got all the high end restaurants. You got just the way it's set up. Like, without all the attitude and without all the arrogance that comes with LA, and all the dirt and the homeless people. Like, it's like a really clean, a really considerate, nicer version of LA. So Osaka, it reminded me, the hospitality part reminded me of the South without all the homeless people and the dirtiness. Like, it was so welcoming. And
dude, everybody we met in Osaka, they wanted us to either come with them somewhere. They wanted to know about us like immediately when we were taking the photo. Like we met when we was taking a photo of the car, right? Because my big thing is I want to shoot like some Tokyo Drift, like car meetup stuff. We didn't get to do that, but I did. If we ever go back, we know some places to go and like some events to hit up, right? And a guy who we met, his name was ironically Car. And remember, this is when we figured out that Sigma makes fucking cameras. Yeah. He's been doing photography and video way longer than me. And he even called somebody who was in the same field, and they had never heard of Sigma making cameras.
And his shit was fire.
Fire. Over there, they were so welcoming of like, I don't know nothing about them. I want to know about them. And I feel like if they were to come over here, it would be the opposite of like, I don't know you, I don't need to get to know you type of energy.
It wasn't sketchy. Yeah. And one of the things that surprised me the most, bro.
Yeah, I didn't feel sketchy with them.
One of the things that surprised me the most was not saying that women shouldn't be able to walk around at night, because they absolutely should. But like, if you see a woman walking around at night here in Atlanta by herself, or in New York, or in LA, it's like, bro, I hope she got like some spray or a strap on her or some shit, like, because it's like, man, it's creeps everywhere in the world. It just made sense that, okay, well, she doesn't have to be in fear of her life, or like have to be constantly looking around or like this, trying to, because it's like, again, how courteous they are and how they look out for each other. It just made sense that, okay, women would be okay walking around at 3 or 4 in the morning, like completely oblivious
like
on their
pure
phone.
creep hours.
Yeah, you can't do that shit in New York. You can't do that shit in LA.
You can't
Like
do that shit in America.
you can't do
period.
no. Like ever since I got back to the States, there's not a day that passes. I'm just like, dang, that shit was fire. Like
It
this shit
was
was fire.
It
Like
really was. As in from the jump too, like it was such a, like I said, immediately when we got off that train, bro, and we got up. Like I said, it's everything is so fascinating and it's so efficient. Like the buildings.
yeah.
Over here, you'll find like an empty building for lease, and they only want it for office space. They only want a business in there, like one specific building with cubicles. Like over there, bro, everything is like a multiplex. Like level 1 for phones and phone cases. Level 2 is for furniture and TVs. Level 3 is like they use everything. They
utilize their space.
They utilize their space. Whether it be the homes, whether it be a freaking the mall, a store. Like you can't live there and say you didn't find something or I don't have this. Like when you needed
It was the something for my camera.
yeah,
It
was it no strap?
Yeah, the strap.
Yeah. We go into the store, right? Oh, you need an SD card originally.
That too. Again, the thing is about like having to import it. Like I call my people who also do videography and photography. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna believe how much, because I used the tough cards from I don't know who they're made by, but I used the
Sony.
the Sony tough cards.
Yeah.
And a 60 gig one is gonna range about 130. It's gonna range about 130, 150 or something like that.
Yeah.
But because again, like the shit's made over there. Shit's $70, $80, and I'm like, bro,
Half the price.
I'm like, bro, you won't believe how much I'm getting this car for. And it's like, grab me a couple of them. I'm not grabbing you a couple of them, but it's like, because I ain't got the funds like that.
Yeah.
But it was crazy.
Like obviously we might not go there like the next time we go out of the country. We might go like to Thailand or something.
Yeah.
But like definitely, like I said, that for me since I've been a kid, like Tokyo just looked so interesting to me from the jump. The lifestyle, the culture, the energy, just from living vicariously through a screen, it just looked interesting. And like going over there, it exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Like it really did. And I can't say that a lot about like
Tenfold.
places that you may go in the world. Like a lot of people say, oh, we went here and this was cool, but we didn't like this. Like, dude, from the moment we got there, for me, every day besides that we didn't get to go to do certain things because it rained, but like when it rained, it's still with people outside, still walking, still enjoying life. Like nothing stopped. When I got back here, I didn't want to like accept that I was back here.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to stay in that whole energy of like people move like this. They talk to you a certain type of way. They're willing to help you.
Yeah.
Even if they assume you know or don't know, they're just willing to be like, oh, it's not a problem. Like it's this, that, and the third. It's like you get hit with that harsh reality of like how different, like in bad ways that we are from over there. Like I said, the efficiency. Like we use so much of what we don't need, or we have so much of what we don't need with the soda or the grocery stores or the buildings. How many buildings do you drive by? And it's just they've killed trees,
to build something that
nothing's in there, and it hasn't been in there for 5+ years. You know what I mean? Everything was used, and like, of course they got areas where it's like this is sacred.
People were literally walking past temples. If they knew they had to walk past temples, we was outside taking pictures, and there was this group of ladies that came by, and we thought they were about to go in the temple. They literally stopped. They bowed. They went on about their business. That one stopped, bowed. I'm like, oh shit, we need to bow. We over there taking pictures, so we went over there, we bowed. We was like, damn, it was crazy. Because I was preparing to be, I'm like, all right, I'm a black man over here in Tokyo. I'm finna get stared at. I'm finna get the weirdest looks. The people who stared at us was the other foreigners. Like the people, the other travelers. Like, why the fuck are you staring at me? You look like you from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you staring at me? Like, only people none of the Japanese people were staring at me. They were minding their business. Only people who was looking at me dead in the face was the other people that were over there traveling. They're just like, oh shit, it's a nigga. Like, but again, that goes back to that respect and that courtesy. They're not gonna sit there and stare at you because I'm pretty sure they've been taught like it's rude to fucking stare. It'd be followed by a compliment. There's a reason why we were staring at them because they had fashion. They had that shit on. Like
they put that shit on though.
Like their fashion, man, fucking forget about it.
I remember we took a picture of that one girl. She had on boots, like black leather boots, Adidas pants that looked like these with the stripes, a skirt over that, but it looked like a graffiti skirt, a gray hoodie on. Like, she had all that. Now, in your mind, you like, that looked like you just woke up and put that shit on.
But that shit made sense.
But when she put it on, that shit was, and then had a lot of people out there, beknownst to you, are models. There are a lot of, like, just people walking every day who actually are models. Like, and half the time you have to remind, like, that this is the fashion capital of the world over here for them. Because, again, they making a lot of this shit. Yeah. So it's like, they had that shit on.
They had that shit
and
on.
we were just taking it back. And it'd be the most simplest shit, like dress pants, some dress shoes, and an oversized crew neck.
And that should be
But that
fire.
shit would be slick as hell.
You might have on a fitted cap with the army fatigue on, with a fucking sweater and some dress pants, but they stop up here, and you got the nice shoes with the shiny boots. It's like, theoretically in America that shit shouldn't make sense. Like,
right.
If you tell me that conversation, that combination in my head without me seeing it, I'm like, that sounds like some tacky shit.
Yeah, like
that sounds like some really tacky shit. But you see it over there, you like, it's like, cuz.
Yeah.
Look at that shit.
And what even crazy shit, it was just they know how to
make
they know how to put shit together. And like I said, it could be the most simplest stuff.
And it was easy to tell who wasn't from there.
Yeah.
Because the people who was traveling, bro, we was just like, God damn, this is American. Like, we were like, damn, do we really like stick out like this? You knew an American when you saw one.
Yeah.
That motherfucker probably got on rusty ass or some Wranglers with some beat up ass Adidas and a sweater. And it's like, damn, dude, like, is this how the rest of the world sees this, bro? Like, we gotta tighten up, bro. We gotta tighten up.
America,
like,
get your shit together.
Like,
whenever I start posting the videos, I might name each video in Japan, America, get your shit together.
Yeah, and it was flawless for them, man. Like,
effortlessly. Like I said, from age 1 to the old people. Yeah. Like, it really surprised you when you see the old people.
Yeah, they had that shit on, bro. And you can just tell that shit's in them.
They always mixed streetwear. Like, hip hop is very big over there. Like, if anything else, that's why they fuck with black people. Like, they love hip hop culture.
Everywhere we was going, they was playing Nas, DMX, Wu-Tang, something.
Their whole fashion sense, the way they dress, is very 90s and classic. Like I said, you see like a Champions, or like we go to vintage stores a lot. Like, you see Looney Tunes and just Fila, yeah. So they like that era, and like they live in that era, but they'll mix that era with like respectable, classy. It's like either it's gonna be a dress shirt with some loose, like it could be like maybe a dress shirt with this, right? Or they'll do the dress pants and get freestyle as the t-shirt and the shoes. But whatever it is, they gonna put in a little class in the way they dress with everything. Thailand definitely gonna be on the next list. And then maybe we'll go to Europe or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to hit up Germany. Start in Germany, take that train, go to them neighboring countries. Yeah. Go to Amsterdam, because I hear good things about that too. I hear it's real cheap to start in one country and just venture off into other countries. And it's like a 2 for 4, one for 4 special. You know, you hop on that train, ride a couple of hours, you end up in another country real quick. Like this year coming up. Yeah, we going to Germany. Yeah. Like, we starting in Germany, we traveling, and that's gonna be the goal over the. I say over the next 5 years. Yeah,
I'm trying to go to at least 2 places a year. Even if you were afraid to get out of this, our bubble, it's healthy to get out and just see another way of life, another energy. Like you said, he asked me, do I feel more spiritual? You know what I mean, or different type of spirituality, you know, since being over there. You're going to, because it's just a new experience. It's like if you live in a certain place and then you move to a new state, you're going to feel different. Yeah. You're around new experiences. So anybody who's debating it, bro, get on that plane or whatever, the boat, whatever, take that trip, you know.
Spend a couple of $1,000s, man. Yeah. Like, you'll get it back in the long run. Like, but it's the experience that really matters.
That's a priceless for me.
Because a lot of people think there's like, you see it and you're like, oh, it's gonna cost this, it's gonna cost. Man, fuck all that.
Save bit by bit.
Yeah, pay on the ticket, but do whatever you gotta do to make sure that you experience what you need to experience in this life. Because last thing you want to do is be sitting on 40, 50, 60 and be like, dang, I should have did this, I should have did that. Like, nah, man, go. It makes you think different. It reroutes the neural paths in your brain. It makes you think of different ways to look at life. It changes your perspective. It elevates your conversation. It elevates you as a person.
Yeah.
Like, you experiencing the same thing over and over, repetition,
Yeah.
like it literally deteriorates your brain power, because you've mastered, if you've already mastered your environment and you've mastered your experiences, that can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's letting you know that you're not evolving as
You're
a person.
no longer learning at that point.
Yeah, you're not
It's
evolving as a person.
You're stagnant at that point.
So it's like, what else can you get from that?
So get your ass out here, start experiencing some new stuff.
And that's gonna do it. Man, this is a good conversation. I appreciate you pulling up. I have been Wallace. This has been Wolf. I appreciate you guys for another episode of Put the Phone Down podcast. I hope you guys put the phone down and enjoyed the conversation we had. And until next time, don't forget to follow me on my socials. You got any socials anybody want to hit you up on?
If you can hit me at the Monochromatic Static on IG or Davis the Wolf on TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, babies from ages 1 to 100, y'all be easy. Until next time, it's all love.
All right.